There's a figure walking among us who has committed the ultimate heresy against everything our culture teaches about achievement. And his very existence threatens to expose the entire success industry as an elaborate fraud. The lazy, ambitious man doesn't just ignore the conventional rules of success. He systematically violates every single principle that gurus, institutions, and society have declared sacred. What's most terrifying to the establishment is that his rule-breaking isn't rebellious or reckless. It's strategic, intelligent, and devastatingly effective. He's proving that everything we've been told about how to achieve our dreams might not just be wrong, but actively counterproductive. The rules he breaks and the principles he violates will shock you, and the results he achieves will force you to question everything you've ever believed about the path to success. If you're ready to discover why breaking every success rule might be the only way to actually succeed, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and tell me in the comments which success rule you're most tired of following, despite it never working for you. The first and most fundamental rule he breaks is the sacred commandment of constant action. Every success guru preaches that you must hustle, grind, and maintain perpetual motion to achieve anything worthwhile. The lazy, ambitious man does the exact opposite. He masters the art of strategic inaction. While others exhaust themselves with busy work and meaningless activity, he waits, observes, and acts only when the timing is perfect. This violation of the action addiction that defines modern success culture allows him to achieve exponentially better results with a fraction of the effort that others waste on premature or misdirected action. He shatters the rule of immediate gratification pursuit by practicing what might be called strategic patience. While success culture teaches that you must want everything now and work frantically to get it as quickly as possible, the lazy, ambitious man understands that the best opportunities often require time to develop. He's willing to wait years for the right moment rather than forcing suboptimal outcomes through impatience. This patience isn't procrastination. It's sophisticated timing that allows natural forces to align in his favor. The lazy, ambitious man obliterates the rule of competitive thinking by operating from abundance consciousness. Success culture is built on the assumption that resources, opportunities, and achievements are scarce, so you must compete aggressively to get your share before others take it. He operates from the radical assumption that there's more than enough success for everyone, and that collaboration often produces better results than competition. This abundance mindset allows him to create win-win situations that expand possibilities for everyone involved rather than fighting over limited pieces of a fixed pie. He violates the sacred rule of goal obsession by practicing what we might call direction over destination thinking. Success culture teaches that you must set specific, measurable goals and pursue them relentlessly, regardless of changing circumstances or emerging opportunities. The lazy, ambitious man focuses on general directions and remains flexible about specific outcomes, allowing him to adapt to better opportunities as they emerge rather than missing them because he's locked into predetermined targets. The lazy, ambitious man breaks the rule of network building by developing authentic relationships instead of strategic connections. Success culture preaches that you must constantly expand your network, collect contacts, and maintain transactional relationships with people who might be useful to your career. He focuses on building genuine friendships and meaningful connections with people he actually enjoys, trusting that authentic relationships naturally produce better opportunities than forced networking ever could. He shatters the rule of expertise building by becoming a strategic generalist instead of a narrow specialist. Success culture insists that you must pick one lane, become an expert in a specific field, and build your entire identity around that expertise. The lazy, ambitious man develops broad competencies across multiple areas, allowing him to see connections and opportunities that specialists miss. This generalist approach makes him more adaptable to changing conditions. and able to create innovations that emerge from combining insights across different domains. The lazy, ambitious man violates the rule of productivity optimization by prioritizing effectiveness over efficiency. Success culture is obsessed with doing things faster, better, cheaper, and more systematically. He focuses on doing the right things rather than doing things right, often choosing slower methods that produce better long-term results over fast methods that create short-term wins but long-term problems. This effectiveness focus allows him to build sustainable success that doesn't require constant maintenance through frantic activity. He breaks the rule of personal branding by remaining authentically himself instead of creating a marketable persona. Success culture teaches that you must craft your image, manage your reputation, and present yourself in ways that appeal to your target audience. The lazy, ambitious man refuses to perform a version of himself for others' consumption, trusting that authenticity attracts better opportunities and relationships than carefully constructed personas ever could. The lazy, ambitious man destroys the rule of failure avoidance by treating setbacks as information rather than disasters. Success culture creates elaborate systems to minimize risk and avoid failure at all costs. He understands that failure often contains the most valuable feedback, and that avoiding failure usually means avoiding the exact experiences that would accelerate his development. This fearless relationship with failure allows him to take intelligent risks that others avoid due to unnecessary fear. He violates the rule of constant learning by practicing selective ignorance. Success culture preaches that you must constantly consume information, attend seminars, read books, and stay updated on everything relevant to your field. The lazy, ambitious man carefully filters what information he allows into his consciousness, recognizing that too much input can create confusion and paralysis. He learns deeply about things that matter and deliberately ignores things that don't, maintaining mental clarity that others lose through information overload. The lazy, ambitious man breaks the rule of time management by working with natural rhythms instead of imposed schedules. Success culture is built on the assumption that you must manage time efficiently, follow strict schedules, and maximize every moment's productivity. He recognizes that creativity, insight, and high-quality work emerge according to natural cycles that can't be forced into artificial timeframes. This rhythm-based approach allows him to produce exceptional work during his peak states rather than mediocre work during scheduled times. He shatters the rule of sacrifice by refusing to trade health, relationships, or happiness for professional achievement. Success culture teaches that extraordinary success requires extraordinary sacrifice, that you must choose between personal fulfillment and professional accomplishment. The lazy, ambitious man operates from the radical assumption that true success must include well-being, meaningful relationships, and genuine happiness. This integration allows him to sustain high performance over decades rather than burning out after brief periods of achievement. The lazy, ambitious man violates the rule of market research by trusting intuition over analysis. Success culture insists that you must study your market, analyze trends, and make decisions based on data and research. He recognizes that by the time trends become visible in data, the best opportunities have often passed. His intuitive approach allows him to anticipate changes before they become obvious, positioning himself for emerging opportunities that others miss because they're looking backward at data instead of forward toward possibilities. He breaks the rule of planning by practicing adaptive improvisation. Success culture demands detailed business plans, strategic roadmaps, and systematic approaches to achieving objectives. The lazy, ambitious man creates general frameworks, but remains radically adaptable to changing circumstances, unexpected opportunities, and emerging insights. This flexibility allows him to pivot quickly when conditions change, rather than persisting with plans that no longer serve their purpose. The lazy, ambitious man destroys the rule of hustle culture by demonstrating that ease and flow often produce better results than force and struggle. Success culture glorifies grinding, pushing through resistance, and overcoming obstacles through pure determination. He understands that resistance often signals misalignment and that the path of least resistance frequently leads to the best outcomes. This ease-based approach allows him to work with natural forces rather than against them, achieving sustainable results that don't require constant effort to maintain. He violates the rule of external validation by developing internal metrics for success. Success culture teaches that you must measure your achievements against social standards, compete for recognition, and seek approval from authorities in your field. The lazy, ambitious man defines success according to his own values and vision, remaining indifferent to external opinions that don't align with his authentic goals. This independence allows him to pursue paths that others consider unconventional, but that lead to more fulfilling and sustainable achievements. The lazy, ambitious man breaks the rule of linear progression by embracing quantum leaps and sudden breakthroughs. Success culture assumes that achievement follows predictable steps, gradual improvement, and steady progression toward goals. He understands that the most significant advances often happen suddenly through breakthrough insights, unexpected opportunities, or quantum jumps that skip intermediate steps entirely. This quantum thinking allows him to remain open to possibilities that gradual thinking would dismiss as unrealistic. Perhaps most threateningly, he violates the fundamental rule of system participation by creating his own games with his own rules. Success culture assumes that everyone must play within existing systems, compete according to established parameters, and achieve recognition through conventional channels. The lazy, ambitious man often creates entirely new categories, develops original approaches, and succeeds according to criteria that he defines rather than accepts from others. This system creation allows him to avoid competition entirely by playing games that only he knows how to win. The reason these rule violations work so effectively is that most success rules were never designed to help individuals succeed. They were designed to channel human energy in predictable, controllable ways that serve existing systems rather than individual potential. The lazy, ambitious man succeeds by breaking these rules because he's operating according to natural laws rather than artificial constraints. His rule breaking isn't rebellion. It's alignment with principles that produce better results than the manufactured rules ever could. His systematic violation of every success principle reveals something profound about achievement itself. The rules that society teaches about success are often the very obstacles that prevent success from occurring naturally. By breaking these rules, the lazy, ambitious man doesn't just achieve his own goals more effectively. He proves that different approaches to achievement are possible and often superior to conventional wisdom.